in my girlfriend's living room, and she had clothes everywhere. And she was frustrated, she was stressed, she was overwhelmed, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I hate doing laundry." And she was buying new clothes instead of washing the clothes that she already had. And I was like, "Well, that's just gonna lead to more laundry. You're not solving anything." And she was like, "I just really wish there was someone that could just come and take it." And I said, "I'll do it." And so it really started off with helping a friend. Had no idea that it would lead me to the journey that I'm on now.
Entrepreneurs, I am excited to be back with Hyacinth. She is a complete visionary over in Maryland, but has since expanded her business internationally. Welcome to that Entrepreneur Show.
Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Thanks for taking some time today, everyone listening on, and our guest of honor this week. She is the Visionary Award winner from Take the Lead. Her company, the Laundry Basket LLC, is committed to liberating individuals and families from the stress of laundry while promoting zero waste and sustainability. I love that. She's also involved with a workforce development training center to foster skill development in entrepreneurship. Very inspirational stuff you have going on. A little something I like to do here on That Entrepreneur Show is have the show in three phases. Some listeners may skip ahead each week, but I hope they listen all the way through. We go what led you to entrepreneurship in the beginning, we catch up about present day, then we look into the future, get more advice for our entrepreneurs. So let's get this started. Let's talk about day one when you wanted to become an entrepreneur.
Wow, day one. Okay, so I will say that I am a serial entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship started for me in 2001. So I've had some businesses over the past couple of years, and they were great businesses. I really enjoyed community impact, so I try to make sure that that's the kind of the avenue that I stay in. And then I started this business in July of 2022.
Okay. Let's talk about the harder parts of getting each one started. So they're in different fields. What were some roadblocks that stood in your way?
I would say for the last two. So the first one, I was actually in insurance, and that wasn't really my goal. Honestly, I really wanted to be a social worker. So that is what I went to school for, and that's what I thought my life was going to be. But during that time, I had to, get jobs along the way. And one of the jobs was in an insurance agency. And, just part-time, just kind of get some money. And one day, one of the managers said to me, "Have you ever thought about selling insurance?" Because at that time I was a claims adjuster. And I was like, "No, never really thought about it." And I just kind of was like, "No." And then maybe like a few weeks later, he asked me again. And I was just like, "Dude, like, why you keep on asking me that?" But I actually looked into it, and I don't even know, I guess. And then I was just like, and it's that thing, like sometimes people see things in you that you may not actually see. And so he obviously saw something in me, and that kind of sparked this entrepreneurial journey. And I haven't looked back since then. So I opened up an insurance agency, an all-state insurance agency, and I did that. And that was amazing for 10 years. And then as entrepreneurs go, we're multi-passionate. So my mind went into something else. But it was for me, it was the knowing, I mean, not knowing what I didn't know, right? It was kind of like just kind of just taking these risks along the way. It was just finding community. It was money. It was, so many different roadblocks, honestly.
The roadblocks never end, of course, as you know, now into this business. What were some of the challenges getting this one ready to go?
Wow. So this one it's been the most challenging because it's laundry, right? And so it's not something where you know a lot of people that you can get mentorship in. There's a lot of things like I didn't know this was a happenstance type of situation. I literally was in my girlfriend's living room, and she had clothes everywhere. And she was frustrated, she was stressed, she was overwhelmed, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I hate doing laundry." And she was buying new clothes instead of washing the clothes that she already had. And I was like, "Well, that's just going to lead to more laundry. You're not solving anything." And she was like, "I just really wish there was someone that could just come and take it." And I said, "I'll do it." And so it really started off with helping a friend. Had no idea that it would lead me to the journey that I'm on now 2 years later. It was pricing. I didn't know what to charge for it. So when I started
Right.
seeing that it was becoming a business, I didn't know what to charge because it was like, it's laundry. I didn't know, of course, it was like capital. I was like, how are people going to know about me? So marketing. So how do I find clients? And so I had to kind of go through all those different things. And I ended up reaching out to people and getting mentors and going to different programs. And that is what helped me along the way. Like the financials, I was just like, I don't know. So, but that is what helped me along the way is reaching out to people and being part of community.
I love how you're saying that. Go out there and learn, everyone. The learning never stops unless you wanted to. Go into these networking events, connecting with like-minded people. I have someone to connect you with, unless you may already know him. He's in California, Jordan Berry. He came on the show as a laundromat founder as well. He's got a whole
Oh,
little thing out there. So after the show, I'll get you connected with him.
hey,
Or Jordan, if you're listening, reach out to her as well.
hey,
But
Jordan.
in the meantime, what are some things you do to prepare yourself for success each day? What are some tips that you can give to our audience?
Yeah, so I am, well, I have to be focused, right? Because it would like your day will kind of just go off track. So I have to have like a goal in mind of like, different tasks that I want to accomplish. And not to say that I accomplish all of them, but at least I start the day knowing what needs to be done. And I have to section out my time. So I do like that. I think it's like the Pomodoro thing where you kind of block off time in different ways.
I do
So
that
that
too.
is, yeah, so that has been very helpful for me. And I do, oh, I see that.
Yeah.
We're like that
Yeah.
together. So I have to do that every day. And then I also have to be focused on my target market. So it's like that whole thing of like some distractions that come up. My life can get really, like I already told you at the beginning, I have like shiny object syndrome. So I have to make sure like I'm really focused on what's going to move the needle in the business because I can do other things that just like, okay, Hyacinth, get it going. And so that's really important for me as well. So just being really focused on what it is that you need to do and what's going to really move the needle for you in your business, whether it be sales, marketing, whatever it is.
And that focus has led you to, as I teased in the beginning, focus on zero waste in your operations. I'd love to show you more love on that because it's such a great service you're doing in a time where it's not easy to maybe do that, where it's easier just to discard of things. Let's talk about it.
Right, right. So I learned early on that when it comes to laundry, there's a lot of different things that like are wasteful. Like, when we're talking about the water, we're talking about the electricity, we're talking about the carbon footprint because, people go into laundromats and dry cleaners. We're talking about single-use packaging. We're talking about, reusing of fabrics. So I talk to clients, we do programs about all of those things and teach them how to kind of reduce, reuse, and recycle. And that's what we're really all about. Like we really want to make an impact, and that is our way of doing it. And it's a perfect industry to do that because we all know about like the chemicals and that type of thing. So for us being eco-friendly, it really helps us stand out among our competitors as well. And so it's just a really good thing. And we're enjoying the road to becoming a B Corp. So that is like our ultimate goal is to be a B Corp organization.
In what ways can regular businesses out there that aren't maybe in laundry, just overall, take initiatives to start becoming more green? What are some things you can offer them if they want to just get started?
Right. So definitely we'll start with like if you're
General
not in
waste, like general waste.
our digital footprint. Obviously, so making sure that if we don't need, paper products that we're not using those types of things. Even now with the work from home, so doing more things that don't require people actually coming in if not necessary. So I understand there's some business where you have to be, because obviously for us, we have to be out in the roads and doing that type of thing. But if you don't have to, definitely reducing that as well. So I think those are two things that just off the top of my head that for businesses that are not in my industry could do.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that, everyone. I saw the opportunity to add a little value to you, so I had to ask a question. But back to her business, and I think something that can help a lot of other people. How did you develop your subscription-based on-demand model for the laundry service? And then how does it make it unique?
Wow. So I developed that through customer interviews.
Okay.
I
Love
actually did.
it.
I actually did like a focus group of like my target market, and I kind of was like, "Hey, how much, are you willing to pay? What do you want it to look like? As far as the convenience." Like, so I kind of took all the grumblings that I've heard along the road. You see stuff on Facebook, and I'm just like, okay, so what is it that's really the pain when it comes to laundry? Because 90% of our clients have a washer and dryer. So it's just like, but there's obviously a pain there. And so one of the things that came up to answer your question about the subscription was that, well, I'm busy every month, so I don't want to have to keep on thinking about it. So it's kind of like a set it and forget it type of model that we have. It kind of just comes out like your gym membership each month. And it's kind of like it's just there for you. So you kind of already know. And then, of course, from a business owner perspective, it's great, right? Because it's recurring revenue. So we at least have like a baseline of what money is coming in each month. So it's a win-win for everyone, but they love the subscription model. They don't want to think about it. And so we're just trying to make it convenient for them and accessible, our laundry services.
And I think it certainly is where you don't have to think about paying and you just have that. Once it gets in your routine, it just becomes, all right, I'm not doing my laundry. You get that time back. For some people, they don't like taking breaks to do laundry or they work out of the house and just can never get to it. Be sure to stick around to the end, everyone, because she is growing, but she's already in Greater DC, Maryland, Northern Virginia, Cleveland, Ohio, and Toronto, and some other Canada areas. So stay tuned, please, until the end to see just how big she's planning to get. But I want to talk a little bit more about something else I teased in the beginning. You're growing, you're expanding your wings into new areas, the Workforce Development Training Center in Baltimore City. What
Yeah.
motivated you to do this? And then also tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so what motivated me to do it is that I see now that I'm absorbed in this laundry and dry cleaning field. I get to talk to so many laundromat owners and dry cleaners, and having reliable, skilled staff is such a pain point for them. Like they're not able to really find people. And so I was like, okay, so how can I help with that? And so that's how the Institute came about. It was like, how do I help other people get into it so we can train them and we make sure they get a sustainable wage. And then it also becomes like a pipeline for us. So it's like strategic, right? Because it becomes a pipeline for us as we continue to grow. We're going to need staff, in different things. And then we also can pass them on and make sure that they get jobs in the hospitality field. And when we think about the Institute, it's not just, oh, how do you wash clothes? There's so many different skill sets. Like you're talking about customer service, you're talking about tech, you're talking about management, you're talking about logistics, you're talking about cybersecurity. So it's not just, oh, how do I wash some clothes or how do I dry clean? We're teaching you different things that will help you overall just make wherever you go, you become an asset to that company. So, and I love it.
And I could see you do. Everyone, you hear the passion through the mic, like many of our guests. But if you're going to see some video clips after the show goes live, you'll see her smiling there too. Before I ask you which entrepreneur throughout history you would choose to sit down with to learn and grow, there's one more thing I want to ask you about your company. What are the long-term goals for it? Are you expanding over to me in Florida, or what do we see coming from you?
Yes, so that is definitely what we're doing. So we received our federal trademark, and so our goal is to franchise. So for franchising, you have to have like at least, three locations up and running. And so that was another strategic plan for us as to why we have Cleveland, Toronto, and in addition to the Maryland, DC, Northern Virginia area. So our goal is to expand. Our goal is to have eco-friendly detergent that we
Okay.
can sell to our consumers and of course to our future franchises, build out this Laundry Basket Institute, and just be a household name. So when you think of laundry and dry cleaning, you think about us. So that is definitely our goal.
Hey, well, I can't wait for you to get down here in Florida. Again, it's something I like to take my mind off work for as long as it's a productive task, like I'll clean the counters or I'll throw a load of wash in or something. But it's always great to support great people and support great businesses. So keep me posted on there. Now, what everybody's been waiting for, if you could pick any entrepreneur, dead or alive, to pick their brain. Now, mind you, it doesn't have to be right now. It could be at any point of your journey. Who would you choose?
So the first person that comes to my mind, honestly, is Tabitha Brown.
Let's talk about it.
She has taken Just so we're not really big like on like, like social media, like the Instagram and the
Yeah.
TikTok, but she has taken her Instagram and TikTok and then just kind of expanded it. And it's kind of like it's blown up. It's like millions of views. And of course, now she has products in Target. So it's kind
Wow.
of like, how do you kind of like expand the brand? And that's what we're always looking at. Like, how can we make it just bigger? And so we want to be in Target one day. We want to be in these stores. We want to have that. So I'm just looking to see how she did it, how she built that brand. So Tabitha Brown is who I would say.
And that's an incredible answer because of the way you described it. Everyone out there, not that the main guys are wrong. You get a lot of Elon Musk, of course, the Bezos when I asked this question, and who wouldn't want to meet them? But I always like learning why specifically you chose them. And that resonates with a lot of people listening on or viewing on today. How can we grow our brand effectively? It's
Mhm.
never as fast as we want it to be, right? I feel like I've been doing this, or not, I feel like I've been doing this since 2015, my MBA speech, and really not until the last 18 months have I actually seen some real momentum. So I'm proud to have you on the show. Congratulations on all the success you've had and will continue to do. I hope you come to Florida again. Where can we find you online?
You can find me online at laundrybasketdelivery.com.
Thank you for sharing that. Everyone, go check it out and be sure also to check out my friend Jordan Berry. He was on the show. I'm going to send you his profile. I hope it's a good conversation where you can at least learn from each other and give some tips. But this show is on all podcast platforms. Please subscribe and rate the show 5 stars if you enjoyed today's chat. We are on social media at the same, and I am at Vincent A. Lancy and vincentalancy.com. This show is brought to you by Coming Alive Podcast Production. Head to the link in bio to learn more about what they do. But with that, we are signing off today. Maryland down to Florida. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.